I'm here on the dot at 12:21. I'm here. Don't you worry. Apologies. I had a very late start. So, and David, if you're still in here, I think you are, hopefully. It is not to order, but you can grab these once I'm done with them. I list them once I'm done making it. Unless there's something horribly wrong with it, then I won't list it. But yeah, if you want it, stick around and they'll be up for sale. I will say that the Muse, these guys right here, they tend to go fast. So that's why I've done like 3 or 4 streams of them so far. This is probably, yeah, I'd say this is probably the 4th or 5th by now, just whether it's the thumbnail one or not. But I'll take being the only decent prices. But okay. Hello. Let's say hello to everybody. I'm so mixed up since I'm so late. But girl on a quest, just a Maki, I don't know. Speedrun? I'm sorry. Mihai? Go with that. DC, Erwin, Jovi, David, and all the way down here, Maverick. How you guys doing? How's it going? Let's get started. I mean, if I'll do the spiel. Okay. We got this one already up for sale if you don't want to wait for either of these two today. We've got Game Boy Color. Got a macro. If I can reach them. We got 2 SPs, one with a cool Metroid design, one that's just purple. And then we've got a ton of DMGs. So I'm not going to bother bringing out all the DMGs, but you can go find all of these at retroremaster.com. There we go. All right, let's get started, shall we? We'll start, as always, with the one that's not in the thumbnail. This will be all white. Very clean setup. I don't know what that is, but I probably should have grabbed Game Boys, huh? Kind of need the actual Game Boys to get this going. Slow start today. Thankfully, we do all the testing beforehand. I forgot to put the power switch in. That's why it's rattling. I vaguely remember that. But this one's not rattling. Guess we'll start with this one. I did my first macro mod today, working and everything. All I need to do is buy a faceplate from Boxy Pixel. Nice. Did you go the route of just doing the regular resistor? Did you get the Helder amp mod thing? Did you just break it in half and go from there? Let me know if the music gets all wonky again. But hello, I'm new here. I just got my OG childhood GBA back from bleh. Let me start over. Hello, I'm new here. I just got my OG childhood GBA back that my mom found and looking forward to mod it. Cool. Well, I've got plenty of tutorials for ya. My original GBA that tutorial is not the best, but like other streams, I can do a mini in-depth tutorial here if you'd like to follow along. This one will obviously be uncut, so you can just follow along and you can see everything, even my mistakes that I don't really cut out my mistakes. Sometimes I do, not all the time. Acorns, I can get a $15 bonus when I reinvest from the thing I said I'm done using. But is it this one or is it the SP? Because if it's this one, then the in-depth tutorial will be helpful. But if it's not, if it's the SP, then me doing this one won't help you much. I didn't break it, thought about it though. I got the 33 ohm resistor, 330 ohm. Yeah, did I say that right? I don't know. 330 ohm resistor soldered onto the board. First time soldering, so I ruined the first resistor, but I got the second one working just fine. That's all right. That one I did the other day. Here's the resistor that flew away. It's still on my desk because I don't know. I haven't done anything about it actually. But here we go. Taco. It's not Tuesday. That was yesterday. But we did do a stream yesterday for the members. I played video games for the members. I've been playing video games for the members recently. So, if you're one of the few that says, Jake, you should play video games, then if you want to see it, you can become a member. Hit that join button down below. I highly recommend it because it gives me money on a regular basis. And you actually get something out of it. So, same one, non-SP. Honestly, I want to change the whole thing, screen speakers, but I want to make it Flygon themed. I don't know how. You can always get stickers made if you want to do that. I guess that doesn't really help because I don't really have a place you can get the stickers done either, unless you are crafty. You can do it yourself, but maybe there's a local print shop that would do a UV print for you. That's what I have done in the past with my PDX Carpet Boy to get something custom done. Retro Game Repair Shop has a bunch of UV printed stuff, but they don't have any, like, they don't do custom things unless you're special like me. Yeah. Why does Kirby have a knife? I have seen that picture before. I think that Kirby is from a old Nintendo commercial, but someone added the knife. Maybe I'm wrong, but I will do a mini in-depth tutorial for you here. But since I have already done all the unscrewing, there are 6 tri-wing screwdrivers here, or screws, 6 tri-wing screws, and then this one down here in the battery bay is the Phillips head, or a Phillips head. It's the only black screw in there, unless you have a weird model, and sometimes it's gold, but usually that's because it's an aftermarket screw. Anyways, then there are 2, sometimes 3 Phillips screws on the inside that are different from the black ones, so don't get those confused. And from here, if you want, which I highly recommend you do here, get some IPA, spray it on there, and then go through, clean it up, because these contacts might be dirty. Now, if you were to do an SP, and I know you said you're doing this model, but SPs, you don't want to spray IPA, because if it gets in the buttons and then it can't dry, or it takes a really long time to dry because there's no airflow, that's bad news bears. Buttons won't work, it won't be a fun time. So if it's something like this where they're just open gold-plated contacts, then you're good. So really just the SP, don't do it. But there we go. If you want to go the extra mile, I also recommend cleaning your power switch. I have a couple shorts on how to do that. I think I've done it for pretty much every model at this point. But you take off this little piece of metal here, and then it's really dirty under there 99% of the time. And yeah. Alright, I think that's enough for that. What we can do now is get out our mod kit. This is the one I like. It is the IPS V2. Oh yeah, RetroGameRepairShop.com. If you buy your mod kits there, or your shells, or whatever you need from there, then you can save 10% using code Jake at checkout. And to start, we're just gonna go ahead and test the screen to make sure everything works. Because if you install it and it's not working, then Retro Game Repair Shop will not give you a refund for it, because they don't know if it's, I got a text, they don't know if it's you messing up or if it arrived defective. So plug this in here very gently, and then this one is a 40 pin, so you can stick the, hold up, you can stick the 40 pin in like this, get it all lined up. Doesn't look like it's, there we go. And what I like to do, because it's just easier than getting out some alligator clips, so you can put the back half in like so, and then you can put your, sorry if that sounded awful, the screwdriver just rolled across the top of the microphone, or at least the microphone stand. But put your batteries in, and the power switch was already in the on position, and as you can see here, that doesn't look good. That is what your TV looks like when you don't have any channels going. So something ain't right. It is a good sign though that we're actually getting some sort of signal. My guess is it's just not plugged in all the way, because this connector can be a little tricky. It's tricky. So if we try this again here, we're golden. There you go. See, when I'm trying to teach people, I try to remember to test everything. But I'm a bad boy who doesn't need no stinking testing. But I mean, it's really dumb that I don't. It is. Fully admit that. But sometimes I just want to keep on keeping on. Don't want to wait around. If I feel like in this case, I didn't feel like I got the click in very well. It didn't feel like I got the screen connected fully. So that's why I wanted to test it as well. I would have done it either way because I'm trying to teach. But even when I'm not trying to teach someone, I will do it if I feel that's not fully plugged in. Fully seated, as they say. But from here, we can flip this back over. We can put our insulation film. After we center this for the camera, it's just a clear tape that I put off center. It doesn't really need to be perfect, but the reason why we do this is because this is metal, and when this touches that can short out sometimes, and you don't want things to be shorting, so we do that to protect the metals from touching. And yeah, it's a super simple step that some people just omit, whatever, for no reason. Let's see. It's also easier to fix problems before everything is buttoned up too. Yeah, when this screen is stuck down later, you're not going to have a fun time taking it off. Even with the amount of times I've done it, I still will regularly break my screens trying to pull this out. It's like there's a dog in my front yard, and somehow the dog did not react to that whatsoever. It sounds like people are making friends in the chat. I'm going to take a sip of G Fuel here. Not sponsored, even though I definitely would take a sponsorship. Imagine if you could use code JAKE to save 30% at G Fuel. You can't right now, but I hope that works in the future. And then when you're watching this back on the VODs channel and you hear it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, remember that time when he said that before he got the sponsorship, but now it works? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. No, just me? Okay. But yeah, I like to orient this upside down like so, because I don't know why, it just makes sense to me. But well, I guess this is how it's gonna sit in the shell, so that's why I do it. But we're gonna plug in our soldering iron and do the soldering now. You don't have to solder if you are getting this kit. It is not necessary, but if you want to adjust the brightness, it is necessary. So once our soldering iron is heated up to 300 degrees Celsius, which is, it reads it out on mine, but not everybody's as fancy as that. We'll get some solder out. I don't pronounce the L, but we're going to solder to L here, and R, and select. Try that one more time. There we go. And then we can take our 3 wires and solder them down. Everything is going to be backwards in the situation because it's upside down. But the reason I do it upside down is because this is how it's going to rest in the shell once you put the whole assembly in. And it's just more helpful to think about it this way. The Game Boy is backwards, or you're looking at the back of the Game Boy when you're putting this in. So L is going to be on the right side and R is going to be on the left side. Like in this situation here, this is left and this is right. So that's why we're having L stick up into the right. That's backwards, right and up. And then we'll do the same thing with R. It's going to go out to the left and up. And then select. This just on the other side. So alternating, but everything faces up. There's a little extra solder around here. You don't need to do anything with ground, but I had some weird pieces of solder laying around, so I cleaned it up with flux. And yeah, if you do choose to solder, highly recommend flux. It's not a crutch, it's a helpful tool. Some people use it or think it's just a crutch. You're always in here when I am doing something that you would like testing. But I'm teaching today. I have been testing more. In my old age, I've gone soft. But now that we've got all that soldered, you know what? Okay, that shouldn't be there. I should just solder to TP2 while we're here. And to make an example of him, DC always, or one time, has ripped off this pad, and it happens. It's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But TP2 is right here. It's right above start, and it actually connects to select. So this is where we're gonna solder our select wire later. Heat it up, push the solder in, lift up. That wasn't great, but I just like to do it again because pushing more solder in will activate more flux in the rosin core, so I don't have to get out the flux tube. There we go. That is soldered for now, and we can take the next steps that we need to with the shell. We got the Duckman just a Mucky. I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize, but thank you for the $1. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you're allowed to send a message with that. I'm guessing not. But opening up the shell that you can find at RetroGameRepairShop.com. I like to use the short version of rgrs.us. It's a little bit quicker, but you can use that to find all the things you see here today, as long as they're not sold out. But I think the kits are sold out, at least the ones that I'm using. But you can use code Jake to save 10% off at checkout. But, oh yeah, I forgot. In more recent times, they've added a little piece right here that you're going to need to snip off in this case if you're using the same kit as me, or the similar Funny Playing version. Then we can peel the border of the yellow side off. We can line it up with the one little piece of plastic here and the other little piece of plastic here. Push it along the edges to get it stuck down, and it's already wanting to come out, but we can punch that out, and then we can peel the other side off, and that's gonna hold in our screen. Moki? Okay. I will try to remember that. Took me a couple weeks to remember Jovi, so, but I think I've got that down now. And if you're still in here, I'm gonna ask the question that everybody's asking me: when can I get a replacement screen for the when can I get one of these that's not super broken? Where is it? When can I get one of these that doesn't flip open? I don't know if he's still in here or not, but people have asked me every stream, so. Oh, there he is. Whoa, wires got tangled up there. But what I like to do is I like to take my screen lens, this thing right here, and I like to stick it in its spot. Don't stick it down yet, but stick it down and lay it down flat like so. And then we can peel the protective layer off. And stick it down all the way up against this left peg. And all the way up. Not all the way up, I shouldn't say that. All the way up against the left side and right up against this bottom piece. It can be a little hard to get it straight because there is a little bit of wiggle room, but I think I got it pretty good there. Then we can take this, put the screen lens on. You don't need to stick it down too hard yet, because again, it can be very, very hard to peel the screen back out if you do have it misaligned. So don't stick it down too hard, because we're going to put the screen lens down here with a very minimal amount of dust on the inside. That was not the best way of putting it in, but we'll do this. We'll once again, that's not right. Once again, plug this in. Dude, that just didn't want to go down. Okay. And then, where's our back cover? This is the old one, but it works just the same. Shove that in there. Put our batteries in. Sorry, this is kind of zoomed out. Turn it on. Need to center this for myself. It's a little crooked. It looks so straight on. Okay, well that's not good. Uh-oh. Zoom out a little bit here. Okay. I don't know what I did there. We're just gonna plug this back in like nothing ever happened. It's always when I have an audience. If I did this off camera, wouldn't be a huge problem. Because there would be no problem. I'm gonna take it out of this too. Okay. It's always infinitely harder to plug in the ribbon cable once it's in the shell. Sorry, this is not very on camera. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. Not looking good, folks. It's not looking good. See, this is what happens when I test it. I'm kidding. But this is incredibly disheartening. Try reseating it one more time. I mean, the big green and black line down the middle of the screen wasn't a good sign. I was gonna say, that did not feel right. I don't see a crack down the screen though either. So I don't know what it is. I think I'm gonna unplug this. Put everything off to the side. Probably should have turned it off first. Just put it off to the side. And we'll start anew. Okay. Okay. We're gonna do this guy. I'm gonna toss all of this stuff, get out of my way. Okay. Let's do this. I think it's just the screen. I don't think it's the ribbon. I rarely have a bad ribbon. So. I think I'll get it working. If not, the screen isn't that expensive. It's still gonna suck because it's a blow to profit and all that stuff. But it happens. I'm used to it. But I have a feeling I'm just not getting it seated right because those little tiny connectors can be an issue. But moving on. It also gets easier to accept it when it's happened to you like 20 times on stream in front of tens of people. Now, if some big YouTuber like Ludwig just decided to shout me out and raid me, and then I had like thousands of people in here, then I would be more embarrassed and probably shaky. So. This shell does not feel good. I feel like there's some broken screw posts in here. Oh, okay. I see. I see what you're saying, DC. Hello, World Star Z. Are you the 26th World Star? Is that why you have a Z at the end? Have they tried everything from A to Y? You know, the alphabet. Let me know if you got that reference. They are in stock? Can you toss one in my order? Assuming you haven't sent it. Oh, I'm a dummy. I feel like you're a little behind in the stream. I can't tell. Or maybe I'm not at the bottom of chat. No, I am. Okay. Okay. Oh, and that. I remember why I put 32 on there this time. Because it's a 32-bit. 32-bit. 30. I mean, it is a 32-bit console. But 32-pin connector. My favorite. I'm just not going to think about it this time. Once we get back to where we were, I'll resume tutorial mode. But I feel like the taking it slow and overthinking it was what screwed me over. You know those times where you're like going through the motions and I don't know, you get off because you're slowing down to show someone something, and then it's embarrassing because you're like, I'm kind of an expert and now I'm messing up in front of you and it's your first time seeing this, so you probably don't think I'm that good. Okay, shell. No, mod kit. I'm gonna be a bad boy here. Don't look. Retro Game Repair Shop. Or I mean, I tested this off camera. Nah, I still gotta test it after this. After that, I'm just not gonna test it once it's stuck down. Because I feel like that was where I went wrong. I probably mangled the connector. See, that one that one went in so well. Okay. If you do have a 32 pin, you're gonna want to bend the fatter one back, and don't crease the bottom one, but this thinner one is the one you're gonna need. Does this one just show more pins, or what? I feel like it should go in further. There we go. Okay. Drop the back half on. Batteries. TT, I am not Retro Game Repair Shop, so I cannot answer that. I mean, they are a small business, so you gotta be patient. Good things take time. It is not Amazon. I feel like that is something that has hurt small businesses a little bit, not just taking business, but Amazon kind of just makes everybody expect things to be shipped out and to you in 2 days. So, not trying to make fun of you or anything, but it just you gotta wait it out. If it's been like months, you should probably contact them, but you just gotta give them time. Okay. Man, that just doesn't feel really good at all. It's very tight in there, but oh well. Okay, from here, from the top, soldering again. Do you ever do Game Boy Color videos? Also, what's your favorite Game Boy? I love this style of Game Boy, and I do Game Boy Colors. And yes, I said do. I was actually going to do a Game Boy Color stream today, but then I was thinking about Mew, and I made that thumbnail, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I was going to do Game Boy Color, and then I didn't feel like making another thumbnail because it was like already 11 at night, and I wanted to get started on my script for next week, because I want to actually record it later today, but I haven't finished the script yet, so we'll see. Close, but not yet. Okay, now we can get out the shell. Okay. And put that off to the side, put that off to the side. Got buttons and membranes, screws and light pipe. There we go. Thanks for liking my tweet, DC. Okay, let's do this here. One thing that I don't like about the new way that they've started to do these shells is they got rid of the other two posts, and that has really messed up my alignment, like in the other one when I was trying to fix the alignment. But it's alright, just gotta learn, or swap to laminated kits. Which sounds like that will be the move eventually, but I have not yet tried one. Once again, line it up, push it down, and pop, pop goes the weasel. Then we can peel this up. There we go. And drop this in. I forgot to get the screen lens out. That's all right. I'm just gonna push this all the way up against the top there. I know I'm covering the camera, I'm sorry, but I am all the way up against that top. There's literally no gap there, so it should not be crooked. If it's crooked, I'm not gonna be happy. We're not gonna check it until we're fully put together here. Okay, now we are going to put the screen lens on. Nope, don't peel that yet. Peel this. I do like that there's a little tab. Not all of them have that. I also like to peel just the sticky part back on the middle section. It's not necessary, but it makes it a lot easier to do this. And then you'll have a harder time getting glue or fingerprints on it. Okay, this is not going super smooth. Okay, there we go. I think we are good with no dust. Okay, so from here we can put all of our buttons and stuff in. Okay, don't need to put those in yet. I don't recommend putting in L and R. We're back into tutorial mode here. I don't recommend putting L and R in just yet, because it'll most likely get knocked out when you put the PCB in. Same thing with these side pieces and the power switch. Just wait. For now, all you gotta do is put in B on the inside, A on the outside. Put your D-pad in. Start and select are all membrane. And then you can put your other membranes in here too. And before you go moving on to anything else, you can open up your screw bag. Sometimes it'll look like this, sometimes it'll be another Ziploc bag. I prefer the Ziploc bags because these do not tear even though they have the ridges. They do not tear well at all. There we go. Then we can dump it out over here. Not every aftermarket screw is made equally, but in this case, the GBA ones from Funny Playing are pretty good. You're going to want to put this little clear LED pipe into the LED hole. This will diffuse the light coming from the power light, and it'll make it look a lot nicer. And now we can put in the PCB, but we have to put in our insulating foam first. And what I like to do here is stick all of these out. Actually, I forgot, but still, stick all 3 of these wires out through the, it's not really a hole, but there's a gap in the borders right there, along the screen borders, I should say, and have all the wires stick out of there. Put our piece of foam down. It's not going to want to stay because we're using the 32 pin version, which we're also going to want to have. Don't fully crease it, but you're going to want to bend it forward. But You'll eventually put your foam in like this, but for now, let's hold off on that because we got to solder to select before we put the PCB fully in. And so we're gonna put the Game Boy motherboard upside down here. We're gonna get our soldering iron back out and find the select wire, which is this one right here. And once heated up, we can solder this down. Now be careful, sometimes the wire can stick out. You're soldering this to TP2, by the way, since it's been a while, but there are little tiny gold holes all around that. Make sure that the tip of your wire is not sticking out from the solder and into one of those holes. It will short something and you might have some problems, and you're like, why is select just being pressed over and over again? Because you're probably shorting on something. So, or worse, it doesn't turn on. But now that we've got that down and it looks all good, now we can put the foam down. Make sure those wires are sticking out. With the select wire, you can have it come back over the foam, that is fine, but the other two, you're going to want it to stick out. Make sure that the wire isn't covering any of the D-pad contacts there. We can lift this whole thing up since we got that screen lens stuck down. Actually going to push the select wire a little bit further down. And the tricky part with this is getting the speaker in. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt to get that down flush. Sometimes it just needs a little push. And then once you get everything down flat, I like to screw the two Phillips head screws down. One right here. Sorry, it's a little focused on my hand there. Come on. And then another one over here. You can do 3 if you want. It's not really necessary because the majority of Game Boy Advances out of the factory did not use all 3 screw holes, but they should give you 3 Phillips screws that are meant for the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and do it now. It doesn't really make a huge difference. Don't over tighten these screws because your screw posts will break. They're just plastic and they're very thin, so be careful. We can go ahead and plug the ribbon cable in here. That went in much better this time. Get those 2 posts down, and now we can do our last bit of soldering. Some people like to solder these to the test pads that are on the inside. I think it's way easier to solder to the pins right here that are actually a part of the button. So, turning our soldering iron back on, we should have stuck each wire out to the correct side we need to solder to. If not, it's not the biggest deal as long as you're soldering to the right point. Your LNR will just be backwards in the sense of brightness adjustment. LNR will still work as normal in game, but I'll show you what I mean later. We're gonna, if I can, solder this wire to the second pin, the second pin from the left. It's this one right here. Let's zoom in on that. Not this one, but this one right here. This is negative, and then these are just 2 ground pins for security. And then it's the same thing on the other side. It is not mirrored. It took me a long time to get it down. It is also this pin. It is not this pin, this one. It's not mirrored. It is the exact same pin, second from the left. Heat up the solder that's already there. Stick the wire in, you're golden. I like to do it here because there's already a nice glob of solder there from the factory. You just have to heat it up. You don't have to add any new solder. You don't have to worry about getting a glob of solder like attached to another glob of solder, shorting anything out. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, but to each their own. Then I like to wrap this wire around these capacitors. Some people are like, oh my gosh, you're gonna ruin the capacitor, you're gonna rip it out, something's gonna go wrong. Never had an issue, ever. It's not like this wire is gonna get yanked from the outside of the Game Boy. Even if you drop it, this wire wouldn't go anywhere. So I don't know what the problem is there, unless there's something I really don't know about. I don't know. But now we can put our side pieces in. We can put the power switch in. Make sure you're not breaking that power switch when you put it in. And put L and R in as well. Sometimes it's a little tricky with the metal piece trying to get that in to L and R. But not too bad. We put this cover on, and I guess before we get any further, we can test it one last time, because we don't want to have to put in 7 screws to take out 7 screws to put them back in again after we've fixed it, if there is an issue. So turn this on, and it looks pretty dang beautiful. That is really loud too. No amp. Cool. The lineup is beautiful, especially when you have it at that angle that most people play at, but even straight on, it's pretty dang good. There's nothing cut off, and it's very straight. I am very happy with this. See, I didn't think about it, and it worked. We can take the batteries out. We've already got our Phillips head in, so we can put the last Phillips head screw down. Again, don't over tighten these. It's always the pink shells, the clear pink shells, that get me for some reason. But don't over tighten these. It will break and it won't look good. It's usually this one for me too. Is that? Yeah, that one. I have not been reading chat, so I'm going to read chat while I screw this down. But I think there's a little confusion going on. Jake, what do you think about the Easy Flash Omega card for Game Boy Advance? Worth it? 100%. 100%. That's what I use, and I use it all the time. I do like having physical cartridges and doing all of the collecting stuff, which this week's video is all about collecting. Stay tuned. Actually, real quick, if you're worried about over tightening the screws, take a look at the outside edge. There's a little bit of a gap here compared to this side. Just screw it down until that gap is gone. Sometimes there'll be a little gap in the middle where there's no screw. It's fine. Again, you can see it over here. If you can squeeze down and it moves, just do a little turn. If it starts fighting you, don't keep screwing down. It's kind of the rule of thumb. The rule of thumb for screwing anything in. You want to screw it in, not screw it out. I just made that up on my own. If someone said it before, they're copying my future self. But there we go. It is all done. We can put our batteries in, put the battery cover on. We can put our beautiful new stickers on. One where the original game label goes, if I can peel it off correctly. one right where the original label would go. And I cannot peel this correctly. There we go. I will read that donation in just one moment. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Now we can do the peel. And beautiful. That brightness adjustment though. Turn that off. Oh, it's right there. The wonderful Natalie the Nerd made this test cart for me with me screaming like a maniac while cutting a Game Boy Color in half. Reads games. Assuming it'll load it. There we go. And what is that? What is that? Hold up, guys. What does that say right there? What is that telling you to do? Oh yeah, subscribe. You should subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks. Girl on a quest. Faux Mew, not you. So if not faux me, it's faux Mew. I don't know what I'm going there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Girl on a quest. Those stickers do look awesome. But if we press A and B here, it'll load up the input test. A, B, R, L, start, select, right, left, up, and down. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. And there we go. We do not make our own videos for our products. We prefer to have independent reviewers from people like Jake, and Jake, etc. Jake, Mako, and Macho Nacho. I'm just being funny. But if you want this guy right here, I'm going to go put it up for sale. I'm going to use an old listing, so give me one moment. Gotta find it because it has been 3 whole months. Mew. And we will take it out of the draft phase, make it active, add one, and there we go. It is listed, it's up for sale. Top link, maybe not the top link in the description. One of the links in the description. Rux has not been here, so thank you to DC for dropping that in the chat. What is the top link in the description? It is the top link in the description. Look at that. I don't have the VODs channel as the top link. But of course, I'm always 100% honest. I am. If you watched my last video, I was a little brutal. That's how honest I am. So. Not working. Should work. Yeah, it's up. See. RetroRemaster.com. Shop now. Game Boy Advance. And Mew. It's the top one. It's the first one right there. Boom. Bing, bang, boom. If you want it, you got it. And maybe you don't want to get a Game Boy. Maybe you do the modding on your own. That's why I teach you. It's okay. But Maybe you like Pokemon and you think the Ditto versions of Pokemon are really cute. You can buy a shirt from me, RetroRemaster.com. If you were made in the 90s, I got a shirt perfect for you. I'm not wearing it right now, but go check it out. But Jake that has a pink GBA logo. The listing shows blue text. What? Oh. You get the idea. Now I'm trying to think. Why didn't I use the pink one before? This is definitely the holographic one, but why is it? Huh. Weird. I think she just sneezed, but that sounded like a human fart coming from my dog. That okay. That wasn't a fart. That was her doing her weird coffee thing. You good? Okay. Photoshop it. I'll just retake the picture later, assuming it doesn't sell. 99% of my sales come from YouTube, so they'll see what it looks like before they actually buy it. But yeah, I'll definitely retake the picture later. So, human fart. Okay, let's see if we can fix that white one. I already said it. I like it. It's good. And you can buy it at RetroGameRepairShop.com and save 10% using code Jake, Jake, at rgrs.us. I'm gonna clean up all of this garbage. Get out another kit just in case. I'll just be swapping the screen out. Maybe I'll have to ask Retro Game Repair Shop nicely for another screen replacement that I'll pay for. But I think I can. I don't think there's anything wrong with this one. What am I doing? This one's good. Okay. Put the buttons and screws off to the side. Okay. Taking this out. Let's do this pro gamer move. The girl is on a quest to get me some donations. I appreciate it. Hello, Bob. I don't know why. I think it's just funny. It's just Bob. Is that Mega Man? No, that's a Blastoise, isn't it? It's hard to tell when the picture is like that big. But okay. For the longest time, I thought Erwin's picture was a girl with like a lot of red hair, and then I realized later it's just a dog or dogs. I don't know. It's still hard to tell. Okay. This also did not feel good when it went in. But I didn't call you a bot. If I did, that was an accident. I was saying hi, Bob. Bob. You didn't get a button by my membership renewed. Thank you. Once again, if you want to watch me play video games, I've got over 12 hours of streams of me struggling to play video games. So you can check that out in the link in the description. I think there is a link to hit the join button, but it's the same thing, it's just hitting the join button right next to the subscribe button. But I don't think the join button appears unless you've already subscribed. Okay, let's try this again. It's been a while. If it was having a tantrum, it can get out of the tantrum. Okay. See, I would have thought those were golden retrievers. Welcome, Peyton, to the Mod Squad. I haven't really been calling it the Mod Squad as of late. But I do like that name, especially because my papa thought of it. It's still not working. Okay. We're gonna try... Oh, well, now it's not gonna work. Oh, no. Wah, wah, wah. Now I can plug it in a lot easier. I need to start making clips for the stream. Maybe I'll do clips on the VOD channel. Okay. Can we get some Fs or rips in the chat? Whatever you prefer. So let's just try this here. Sorry, I'm still super zoomed in, but it'll give you a nice close-up of this. Okay. Oh, look at that, it works. It's a little cut off for you, but you can tell it works. Okay. Let's actually don't want to remove that. Now we'll do the hard part of removing this screen. I'm going to start with... No, I'll do that in a second. Okay. The nice thing... Well, the sucky part is I've got the screen lens in already. So we don't want to get a ton of dirt in here. We don't want to crack the screen. It's not a big deal. But if we crack the screen, then that creates more dust. But I'm not worried about breaking the screen any further. That's pretty good. Probably still would have broken had I tried to remove that to save it. But shouldn't be any fingerprints in there, so I will give it a shot of dust. Sorry for the super zoom still. I keep forgetting to zoom out. But let's unplug that real quick. Okay. Put the insulation film on here. I could have got the new one out, but I just want to save this for the save everything from the kit I stole the screen from, so when I get a replacement screen for it, I have everything I need still. Okay, now if you find yourself in this situation for some reason, I would grab something like canned air. Just blow all the dust out before you put your screen in. And hopefully no dust gets in there. Again. That would be the Federal Express man. I'll be right back. Okay, we're good. Crackling again. Why does it happen towards the end of the stream? I don't get that. I think it's just the song. I don't know. There's some like very light taps on it. I don't know. I just need to listen to it back because I don't hear it at all. But that's all right. So now I'm just gonna put it all back together like nothing ever happened. Also gonna get some more G Fuel because I'm thirsty. What if I did this? I hit refresh, unmute it again. Let me know. Do you hear any crackling? If yes, then I'll turn it off. Again, A on the outside, B on the inside. And we'll put our little tabs in. I'm going to put the screen back in. Yeah, it's cracking. I don't get it. You guys never say it until like the hour mark. So I don't understand why it would build up. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, I really... Someone remind me to check it after the stream. Okay. So I don't want it to just be like silence, because I can't talk 24/7. But man, I can't wait to show the design of my shell to Jake. That'd be a privilege for him to do my build on his channel. Well, I don't take custom orders, and I don't take people's things in. But if you want to send me a shell for me to work on for a stream, I would most likely do it as long as it's appropriate. but I can't promise anything, and you would not get it back to you. So maybe talk to me before when you send anything over. But I don't know why I'm not listening to myself. Don't put the LNR in. Not yet. Okay, so membranes. And that in. That, whoa. Put this in. And we can flip this around, bring it around town. Solder to select. Hit your head on the camera. Actually wait for the solder or the soldering iron to heat up. And we're good to go there. Clean the soldering iron a bit there because got a lot of solder bubbling up on it. I did put the light pipe in, yes. Thank you for reminding me though, because you know I forget. Okay. Oh, by the way, Mom and Dad, if you're watching, Aaron's gonna come over tonight. That felt like the most little kid thing I could say, but I still live at home. So Aaron needs to interview me for his college class. I'm guessing it's for his videography class. I don't know what it's exactly called, but I don't know why he needs to interview me or what about. If he needs to talk to the most famous person he knows, I understand. I don't think he knows any more famous people than me. If you could call me famous. Okay. My dad's not watching, guys. He's tending to the unicorns at the moment. Okay, let's screw this down. Oh, it is, and I feel it beats every other design ever done on the channel so far. Oh, really? Well, you haven't seen what's coming. But I like the confidence. DM me on Twitter or Instagram, Brock. And we'll see what we can do. But I don't want to say much because even though I'm very excited and I have a really hard time keeping secrets that I'm excited about, but I have a recorded part of the 50K sub special already, and yeah, I'm just really excited to show you guys. So if you get everybody to subscribe to me, that'd be great. We're less than 2,300 subscribers away, and projections tell me we'll hit 50K at about end of November, beginning of December. So yeah, tell everybody to subscribe. Whoa. I will say that it involves an unreleased product from Natalie the Nerd. It might release before I can make the video or drop the video, but it is unreleased as of right now. Okay. Okay. We might get it around the same time as the Guardians holiday special. That looks really cool. Kevin Bacon officially in the MCU, bringing back a one-liner joke. I guess it was a couple-liner joke, but I think that's hilarious. They actually got him just because of that. Okay. Need to put the rest of these in, huh? I'm also hoping to get my new merch design done before 50K, so I can at least announce it for 50K. So I have a really cool merch design that I'm wanting to do. I'm just not an artist. And I'm trying to get my artist friends to help me. But, oh, Remy, you missed a lot. You missed me struggling. This will give you an idea of what you missed. But it's actually, for as much struggles as we had today, it's been a pretty smooth stream. It's been a pretty good one. I did subscribe and I'm not disappointed. This channel is inspiring and has actually helped my mental health in some crazy way. I appreciate that. YouTube is a great distraction from the real world. So it always feels good to hear that I've helped people, whether it's with entertainment or knowledge. It's a really awesome feeling. That screw just seemed to go forever. It was starting to scare me. I need to make some white labels for this. I just need to make labels. My mom reminded me because I mentioned it on a recent VODs upload. But okay, let's do this. Which I can make them so easily. There's templates online. I don't know. I just need to sit down and do it. But every time I do, I get distracted by something else that I want to do. Because there's a million things I want to do right now. And one of those things is turn this on. And it's still slightly crooked somehow. Ay. I don't understand, because I put it up all the way against the thing. Let's just test it first and I'll go through and do it later. Subscribe if you haven't already. Losing steam here. A and B, R and L, start and select, down, left, right, up, I did that in an unorthodox way, and I almost said it wrong. Okay. Yeah, I don't have the I don't have the drives to keep doing it. It's about that time where my back is starting to hurt because we're at the hour-and-a-half mark for this stream. So I will go ahead and end the stream for now. But actually, I'll list this because I will fix this. It will be straightened out, literally. But we'll go ahead and list this. Search white. And I have to edit this one a little bit. Hold up. It's not my best picture ever, but it'll do. Set as active. There you go. Back when I used to take 1,000,000 pictures of this thing. But if you want it, it is yours. RetroRemastered.com. Top link in the description. It should be up right now. Have you done the McWill GBC USB charging mod? The instructions are to use one 1450 or 14500 cell, but I wonder if you could put 2 of them in parallel for extra. I have no idea, and I don't like to mess with batteries. So, I do have a short that I just need to freaking edit and post about a rechargeable battery mod for the GBC that actually is pretty freaking nice. It almost doubled the battery life on my Game Boy Color. So, spoilers, sorry. But I just need to edit that and post it. So, yep. Any update on the laminated GBA display? I put in an order for I put in an order for one. So, yeah. That. And I just realized who said that. You know that. That is my update. So, I put in an order for one. I don't know when I'm going to do a video on it. I might do a stream on it eventually, but I want to try it out and test it to see if it's worthy of making its own video on. I don't know. I am excited for it because things like this where it gets crooked or dust gets under there or whatever. And so I'm like, yeah, a laminated display sounds really nice, but I don't know. It's a different display, so I'm nervous that it's not going to be as good. You feel? But I'm hoping it's good. So, yeah. Okay. I will end the stream here. I'm going to upload a VOD to the VOD channel because I forgot to do that last time. I'm on the wrong channel. Jake Simmons VODs. If you haven't subscribed to it already, I don't have a link in the description to this. But where is it? I'll drop a link in the chat once I make it live. I skipped one on Monday. I don't know what to do about it, but we're just gonna go ahead and upload that. Set as an instant premiere. There we go. And go. Subscriptions. Copy. Paste. If you want to continue the fun on this VOD of the Bulbasaur GBC, you can here. Link in the chat. But that is all for me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.